Welcome back. There were 4 games tonight in the NHL. Does anybody care? It just feels like everybody's just talking about the trade. So I honestly don't know how many people are going to click on this video. It's going to be a bit of a surprise. But we had 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. We'll talk about Nashville and Buffalo first. How does that sound? Did you watch this? It was Annunen versus Luukkonen, so two Finnish goaltenders against one another. They had a nice ceremony for Rob Ray. Before the game, he was inducted into the Buffalo Sabres Hall of Fame. They gave him a nice sword. That was kind of a nice gesture. And I like Rob Ray. As color announcers go, I find him to be witty, insightful. I do. I like Rob Ray. I know there's other people who don't necessarily, but I do. The one comparison I always use with him, he reminds me of the way he does the color commentary of. If you're an older wrestling fan like myself, Bobby Heenan. There's just the way he delivers some of his one-liners. I'm like, man, that's very Bobby Heenan. Anyways, the Sabres press at 2 minutes, and they would score first. At 2:25, Ryan McLeod buries a loose puck at the net. Darlene and Quinn with the assists. It's 1-0 Buffalo. Good flow to this game, few whistles. In fact, that goal was the first whistle of the game, and it was a while before we got the second one. Nashville's getting zone time, but they can't get to the net at this point. We get a power play for Buffalo. That's killed off, and then Buffalo scores. Kulich scores. Goes far corner on a rush. Darlene in power with the assists at 8:41. That was only the 4th shot on net for the Buffalo Sabres. Forsberg then has a wrister that's caught and held. Shots are 4 apiece with 9 minutes left at 10:56. Evangelista deflects one crossbar and in. Barron and O'Reilly with the assists on that one. So it's a 2-1 game now as Nashville's on the board. Sabres look to respond. We get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off. But at 17:06, Shea with one that takes a Preds bounce right into the net. Sissons and McCarron with the assists. We have a 2-2 tie. Thompson then has a one-timer. That goes high. It stays 2-2 after the first. Second period, early press by Buffalo, but Nashville scores. At 2:51, it's past a screen and it deflects in, so no chance for Luukkonen here. Novak scores from Shea and Svechkov. So it's 3-2 for Nashville. They'd scored 3 goals in a row. Nyquist is denied. It's all Preds at this point. Shots are 3-1 Nashville at 5.5 minutes. Sabres press at 9.5 minutes. We get a press by Nashville again, we get a press by Nashville with 8.5 minutes left. And at 12:24 on a rush, Jason Zucker ties the game up. Tuck with the assist on that. So it's a tip in by Zucker to make it a 3-3 tie. Sabres then press for the lead. We get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off. It's 3-3 after 2. Third period, early 4-minute power play for Nashville. Eventually, as that power play rolls along towards the end of it, we get 39 seconds of 4-on-4, which means there's a Buffalo power play on the other end. Everything gets killed off there. Shots are 1 apiece at 6.5 minutes. Sabres press at 7 minutes. We get more pressure by the Sabres at 9.5 minutes. There was a toe save on Evangelista and close. Nashville presses with 9 minutes left. O'Reilly has a net feed. That's picked off. The teams trade turnovers. And then on a rush, Kulich gets the lead back for Buffalo. He scores from Thompson and Peterka at 17:56. The goalie pull happens with 1:45 left as Nashville's looking to tie. They do not. Buffalo wins this one 4-3. They go to 20, 26, and 5 with the win. With the loss, Nashville 18, 25, and 7. Their road struggles continue. Shots on net 10-9 Nashville in the first, 13-7 Nashville in the second, 11-9 Buffalo in the third. Final shots 32-27 for Nashville. Power plays, the Preds go 0 for 4. Buffalo 0 for 2. The hits 25-23 Nashville. Annunen saves 23 out of 27. Luukkonen 29 saves on 34 shots. All right, next up. Vancouver and Dallas. So it's Demko versus Ottinger. Joshua has a near miss and close. Ratu has a chance that's held as Canucks press. In fact, shots are 6-0 for the Canucks at 3.5 minutes. Dallas, fortunate that Ottinger was really on his game tonight. Hronik to DiGiuseppe, near miss there. Stars press at 6 minutes. Hintz has a rush chance that's kicked aside. And then at 9 minutes and 12 seconds, Beck buries a net feed. Blackwell with the assist, making it 1-0 for Dallas. Canucks look to respond. We get a power play for Vancouver. Pettersson has a chance that's held. That power play's killed off. The teams trade turnovers. The Stars press with 3.5 minutes left. There was momentum for Dallas late in the first, and they have the 1-0 lead after 1. Second period, early press for the Canucks. Shots are 3-0 Vancouver at 3 minutes, and then on a rush at 5:08, Garland buries one. Höglander and Hronik with the assists, so it's a 1-1 tie at that point. Stars look to respond, but the Canucks press at 7.5 minutes. We get a power play for Vancouver. Pettersson has a wrister that's caught and held. That power play's killed off. Canucks go back to the power play, so Dallas kills that one off as well. The Stars press after the kill, but they're not getting to the net. The shots are 11-1 Vancouver with 5.5 minutes left. We then get a power play for Dallas, and at 16:29 on what was their second shot of the period, Robertson scores for Dallas from Johnston and Duchesne to make it 2-1. The Canucks look to respond, but it's 2-1 for Dallas after 2. Third period, Ben has a rush chance, that save. The hitting starts ramping up here. Stick save on a chance for Heinen. DeBrusk has a net feed that's blocked by Lindell, and the puck goes the other way, and Hintz goes 5-hole on a net drive. Robertson and Lindell with the assists at 4:03. So it was that close to being tied, but Lindell blocks it, and next thing you know, Dallas has a 3-1 lead. Shots are 3-1 Dallas at 6 minutes. They did a pretty good job of protecting the net in that first half. Pettersson has a net drive chance that's blocked. We get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. Canucks then get a power play. DeBrusk has a net drive that's blocked. That's killed off. That was the thing. Vancouver kept driving to the net, and Dallas was like, nah, we don't think so. Dodonov fires one wide on a rush with 3:35 left. The Canucks get a power play, so they pull the goalie to make it 6-on-4. Rope Hintz hits the empty net from his own zone at 16:29, his second goal of the game. He's going to get 30 again this year. That makes it 4-1 in favor of Dallas. But during that same power play, DeBrusk buries one in close. Pettersson and Hughes with the assists at 17:51. Making it a 2-goal game, so you got to pull the goalie again. So Robertson hits the empty net from Harley and Hintz at 19:07. The Canucks do score again late at 19:56. It's Soucy from DiGiuseppe and Heinen. The final score in this one's 5-3. Dallas goes to 33-17-1 with the win. With the loss, Vancouver 23-18-10. They do not gain ground on Calgary. Shots on net, 9-7 Vancouver in the first, 11-3 Vancouver in the second, 9-6 Vancouver in the third. Final shots, 29-16 for Vancouver. Power plays, Vancouver 1 for 5, Dallas 1 for 2. The hits, 30-24 Vancouver. Demko, 11 saves on 14 shots. Ottinger, 26 saves on 29 shots. Had a pretty good game. Vancouver did break that 900 save percentage with that goal in the waning seconds. Outside of that, Vancouver probably glad to be out of Dallas tonight. All right, next up. St. Louis and Colorado. So it's Hofer versus Blackwood. Early jump for St. Louis. Not that they get to the net very much. Avs press at 2.5 minutes. There's more pressure by Colorado 3.5 minutes in. In fact, 4.5 minutes in. The shots are 4-2 for Colorado. And at 4:57, Drouin scores for Colorado from Parson and Middleton. The Blues press to respond, but Schnabich hits the outside of the net. The Avs in transition tonight were just lethal. I put right here, Avs dangerous in transition, and then on a rush, Natchez scores his first with Colorado. The fans gave him a really nice ovation for that. Taves and Lehkonen with the assists at 7:39. Wood then has a rush chance, that save. The Avs press with 8.5 minutes left. They end up drawing a power play, and at 14:43, Drouin scores on that power play to make it 3-0 in favor of Colorado. With 3:37 left, Colorado goes back to the power play. They score on this one as well. Makar, it's a point shot pass to screen. McKinnon and Drouin with the assist at 17:25. It's 4-0 Colorado after 1. Second period, shots are 1 apiece at 3 minutes. There's a power play for the Blues. Shen has a slot shot that's saved. Then there's a shorthanded chance for Kelly, which is also saved. Power play's killed off. Blues press at 6 minutes. Holloway fires one wide on a rush. The Avs press at 8 minutes. Shots are 5-4 Colorado with 9.5 minutes left. Middlestad has a net drive chance that's saved. With 44.1 seconds left, there's a power play for Colorado. So they're up 4-0. Their power play rolls over into the third period. The Blues finish the kill there. Shots are 2-1 St. Louis at 3.5 minutes. Buchnevich has a slot shot. That's held. Teams trade turnovers. Avs press at 7 minutes. McKinnon has a net feed. That's held. We get a power play for St. Louis. That's killed off. The Avs then draw a power play. McKinnon has a wrister that's saved. Power play ends up being killed off. Manson has a screenshot that's held. And then at 13:21, Kiviranta goes top shelf from the slot. That makes the score 5-0. The Avs then press with 2 minutes left, because what better way to protect a shutout than being 200 feet away from your own net? And that's what the Avs do. They win this one 5-0. So the Dalek magnet for the extermination is on the board. This is not Tony the Tiger territory when it's 5 goals or more. It's an extermination. Colorado 30-21-2 with the win. With the loss, St. Louis 23-25-4 on the season. So the slide continues for St. Louis. The shots on net, 21-6 for Colorado in the first, and then they let up. Shots were 9-8 Colorado in the second, 6-5 Colorado in the third. Final shots 36-19 for Colorado. Power plays, St. Louis 0 for 2, Colorado 2 for 4. The hits 37-15 for St. Louis. Hofer saved 31 out of 36. Did a good job the rest of the way of trying to get his save percentage up a little bit after a rough first period. But, I mean, he faced 21 shots, so you can't put it on Hofer. Blackwood saves all 19 shots for not a very difficult shutout, but it's still a shutout. All right, and last game of the night is Columbus and Utah. What a game this was. So it's Tarasov versus Vejmelka. Utah presses at 2 minutes. Shots are one apiece at 4.5 minutes. At times, this game looked like a chess match. The score ends up not being a chess match, but it felt like it at points. Columbus with a delay, or we get a power play for Utah, that's killed off, and then Columbus is going back to the box for delay game. Dean Evison challenges it, and it succeeds. So this is something we debated before the season started. Would coaches actually be challenging? Because if you're wrong, then it's a 5-on-3. In this case, he challenged it, and it's 5-on-5 still. Utah presses at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Columbus, and it's a 4-minute power play. It had chance after chance, but it's killed off because Vejmelka had a pretty solid night. Utah presses with 7 minutes left. Michelli's denied. Columbus gets pinned down a little bit. Shots are 8 apiece with 4 minutes left. With 1:05 left, Utah goes back to the power play. So after the first period, it's 0-0, but Utah's got the power play to start the second, and they score on it. At 41 seconds, Nick Schmaltz roofs a net feed. The assists to Hayden and Keller. So 1-0 Utah there. Utah goes back to the power play. That was killed off. Utah gets some pressure after it's done. Shots are only 2 apiece at 6.5 minutes. Utah presses at the half. Olivier has a rush chance, that's held. Hayden can't bury one from the doorstep. Utah presses with 5.5 minutes left, and Kerfoot has a buzzer beater, that's saved. There's a lot of zone time for Utah, just not able to get that insurance goal. However, we go to the third period, and the insurance goal shows up 29 seconds in. Kerfoot buries a rebound in close. Marino and Keller with the assists. And I'll be completely honest, I put the records on the top of the board as if the game was basically done. I was like, well, Utah's playing really well defensively. Columbus just didn't seem to have it tonight. And I was like, well, you know, they played last night in Vegas in third period. They're not going to have the energy for a comeback. So anyways, Carconi has a near miss on a wraparound. Columbus then presses at 5 minutes. Fantilli has a net feed that's picked off. And at 6:25, Marchenko roofs one in close. Fantilli and Werenski with the assists. Columbus is on the board. So now it's 2-1. Columbus presses with 9 minutes left. And at 11:42, Kent Johnson with one that goes in off DeSimone's skate. That one's a goal from Van Riemsdyk and Fabro. I haven't put Fabro on the board in a while, I don't think. So suddenly, we have a 2-2 tie, and the crowd goes kind of quiet. Utah presses with 7 minutes left. Keller has a rush chance that's blocked, and basically you could tell this one was going to overtime. Columbus at least playing for the point, and I think for Utah in the position they're in the playoff chase, they knew they needed to get to overtime as well, and both teams I felt played that way late. In the overtime, Utah controls early. Schmaltz has a chance that's held. Utah then won another face-off. They cycle, but they turn the puck over, and Werenski on a 2-on-0 break. That was just filthy. No chance for Vejmelka there at all. You have two guys just passing the puck back and forth, and just, yeah. So in the end, Werenski buries it to make it a 3-2 win for Columbus. Huge comeback for them. Sillinger with the assist at 1:01. Utah found out what we've been finding out lately. Columbus is pretty good, and they're never really out of a game. Columbus 26-19-7 with the win. Stay above the playoff line that way, and they get a little bit of cushion there too. Utah 21-21-9 with the overtime loss. Shots on net, 13-9 Utah in the first, 10-6 Utah in the second, 11-7 Utah in the third, and 2-1 Utah in the overtime, but the shot by Columbus, the shot that matters. Final shots 36-23 for the Utah Hockey Club. Power plays 0 for 2 for Columbus, 1 for 3 for Utah. The hits 23-19 for Utah. Tarasov had a good game, 33 saves on 35 shots. After a pretty rough patch there, he has turned it around. Vejmelka, 20 saves on 23 shots. His save percentage ends up being not great. But that third goal, it was a 2-on-0. What's he supposed to do there? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. It's been an eventful day in the National Hockey League. It feels like trade deadline, but trade deadline is still over a month away. I think what we're seeing is just GMs realize that we got the 2-week break, and then when you come back, it's almost trade deadline. So they're kind of treating this like trade deadline. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.